Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Josh and this is your stimulus update for the second stimulus package for Tuesday, July 14th. I hope everyone is off to a wonderful start to their week so far. In this video, I'll be discussing both the first and second stimulus checks, including why some economists are now calling on Congress to send out recurring monthly payments. I'll also be going over the stimulus timeline, the EIDL grant, and then I'll be wrapping up this video by answering some of the comments and questions that I received in my previous video. But first, if you wouldn't mind real quickly liking this video, giving me a big thumbs up, it really just helps with the YouTube algorithm in terms of pushing this video out to other people like you, and hopefully helping other people like you as well. Okay, so with millions of Americans still having not received their first stimulus payment, it's leaving many people to wonder if they're ever going to receive their first stimulus check. Remember, we're already talking about a second round of stimulus payments going out in maybe just a month or two. And if you're one of the unfortunate ones who still haven't yet received your first stimulus payment, believe me, you're definitely not alone. The good news here is that the IRS is going to be sending out more direct deposits tomorrow on Wednesday, July 15th. So if you haven't been checking the payment portal, then I would encourage you to do so. And either way, I would still encourage you to check your bank account because sometimes in the rare occurrence, the payment portal never updates from that payment status not available, yet you still end up receiving your direct deposit in your bank account. So either way, I would still check your bank account just in case the payment portal never ends up updating. Also, just another reminder, if you are an expat living abroad outside the United States, the IRS recently made note that they are going to be sending out those direct deposits to expats no later than July 24th, so you do have something to look forward to then if you haven't yet received your first stimulus payment. That is if you do have a US-based bank account. Now, unfortunately, if you do not have a US-based bank account, it will take a little bit longer because they're going to have to be mailing your check instead, and they're going to be mailing these checks no later than July 24th. So I hope that in most cases, it doesn't take much more than 1 month for those stimulus checks to arrive in the mail. And finally, if you do check your bank accounts tomorrow and you do not see your stimulus payment there, do not worry, the IRS is going to continue sending out more and more stimulus payments each and every week until everyone who is eligible for a payment receives their payment. So in the meantime, hang in there. I know it has to be extremely frustrating, it has to be extremely stressful, but you will definitely receive your stimulus payment. All right, moving right along to some second stimulus check updates. As mentioned in yesterday's video, White House Economic Advisor Larry Kudlow came out recently and said that he wants to target the next round of stimulus payments to those in lower income brackets and also to those without jobs. Not only that, but he also mentioned that he wants the next round of stimulus payments to be even lower than $1,200. This would be in order to achieve the goal to keep the spending down for the next stimulus package. Now, if you remember, the House wants the next stimulus bill to be right around $3 trillion, and that was proven by the HEROES Act in which they passed back in May, which had a $3 trillion price tag and included another round of $1,200 stimulus payments to Americans and also included $1,200 stimulus payments to those dependents who were left out in the first stimulus package who were over the age of 17, such as college students and adults claimed by their children on their tax returns. Donald Trump, on the other hand, wants the next stimulus package to be right around $2 trillion, which is pretty similar to the CARES Act. He's also come out and said that he wants the next round of stimulus payments to be more generous than what the House Democrats are wanting the next stimulus package to be for. So he's implying that he wants the next stimulus checks to be a little bit more than $1,200, which is kind of countering what Larry Kudlow is saying, where he wants to be less than $1,200 and targeted to a lower income bracket. Then finally, you have Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell, who is saying that he wants the next stimulus package to be right around $1.3 trillion at max. Okay, so that was our White House Economic Advisor, and Larry Kudlow is saying that he wants the next round of stimulus checks to be reduced to lower than $1,200 and to those in lower income brackets. Let's hear what some other economists have to say about that. Just the other day, we had other economists, 156 in total, from top universities such as Cal Berkeley, issue an open letter to policymakers urging them for direct stimulus payments on an ongoing basis. In this letter, they urged policymakers to use all the tools at their disposal to avoid further preventable harm to people and the economy, including recurring direct stimulus payments lasting until the economy recovers. And these are the main things that these economists are calling on policymakers to include in the next stimulus package. Direct cash payments to families, extended and enhanced unemployment benefits, substantial aid to state and local governments, stronger SNAP benefits, and robust child care funding. They say that these programs and policies will be much more effective if they stay in place until economic conditions improve. They also mentioned that direct cash payments are an essential tool that will boost economic security, drive consumer spending, hasten the recovery, and promote certainty at all levels of government and the economy for as long as necessary. Now, this proposal sounds a bit familiar, doesn't it? We've already heard a few different proposals from different members of Congress calling for ongoing monthly direct stimulus payments anywhere in the range of $1,000 to $2,000 per month. A couple of these proposals that you may remember are the Automatic Boost to Communities Act and Emergency Money for the People Act. These proposals never quite gained too much steam though. The spending would simply be just too much. An ongoing $2,000 per month stimulus payment, such as in the ABC Act, would cost upwards to $10 trillion. Now, just to compare, in the CARES Act, the first stimulus package, the US government spent a little bit under $300 billion in the one-time direct stimulus payments to Americans, which obviously is still a lot of money, but it's only a fraction of $10 trillion. What do you guys think about this? Do you think that ongoing stimulus payments are necessary, and do you think that we can afford them as a country? Or do you feel that we should focus more on longevity and look at things such as unemployment and perhaps extending those unemployment benefits for another 6 months for the full $600? Leave a comment in the comment section below letting me know what your thoughts are on that. Additionally, these economists are also calling for automatic stabilizers to ensure relief for as long as it is needed, promoting a strong recovery and efficient government. Many economists have believed that our response to the Great Recession was too small and too brief, and that slowed recovery. Okay, so whether or not this letter really makes an impact on the members of Congress's minds, we'll just have to wait and see. In my opinion, I really can't see it meaning too much. The House of Representatives, whose majority are the Democrats, only passed the HEROES Act with a one-time $1,200 stimulus payment. So with that said, you would think that if ongoing monthly stimulus payments were going to be something pushed by the Democrats. Remember, I only say Democrats here just because those ongoing monthly stimulus payment proposals we talked about were being proposed by Democrats, then it would have been something included in the latest stimulus package in the HEROES Act. But it wasn't, so here we are. With the Senate coming back to Washington from their recess in just under 1 week, we have a lot to look forward to. That's where Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell says the next stimulus package will start and be written. So we have a lot to look forward to, and they are going to try to pass the next stimulus package in the Senate before the 1st of August. Now, the House of Representatives goes on their own recess on August 3rd, so their last day to vote on the next stimulus package will be on July 31st. That's if they do decide to take their summer recess, and I really hope that if the Senate does pass a stimulus package onto them, that they do not decide to take their summer recess. It would be a little bit hypocritical of them to take their recess when not long ago they were bashing the Senate for taking their own 2-week July 4th recess instead of working on the next stimulus package. So with all that said, I do hope that the House Majority Democrats decide to skip their recess in order to get this next stimulus bill passed. Not only do we have more direct stimulus payments on the line, but we also have unemployment, which is set to expire on July 31st. So we need a fix to that. And then we also need more aid for state and local government. We need more state for small businesses, et cetera, et cetera. There is a lot on the line in this next stimulus package. So I really hope that the Republicans and the Democrats can work together here, put their differences apart, and get the next stimulus package passed before July 31st. With a limited amount of time to pass this next stimulus package, there is really no time to play around here. Okay, so at this point, I have some very sad and unfortunate news about those EIDL grants that I had been talking about. Remember, this is the grants that were going to be $1,000 per employee, up to 10 employees. And if you didn't have any employees, it would be $1,000 for you, for anyone with a side hustle or a small business. Now, unfortunately, the SBA says that they already ran through all of the grant money, so they're not going to be issuing out any more grants at this point in time. So I do hope that everyone who tried to apply for these grants did get accepted. I do hope that most of you guys did receive the grants that really needed the grants. Now, with that said, the SBA is still going to be accepting loan applications, which obviously isn't anywhere near as good as a grant, just because with the loans you'll actually have to pay back and in interest, whereas with the grants you did not have to repay that money back to the government. I know, very sad news, but I think we all knew this grant money would run out very, very quickly. All right, so at this point, I'm gonna go ahead and answer some of the comments and questions that I received in my previous video. And if you have any other comments or questions for me, feel free to leave them in the comment section below. I do try to respond to as many comments and questions as I possibly can. And those comments and questions that I'm not able to respond to, I do try to pick some of the more popular ones to answer in the next video in video form. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into the first comment of today's video. That is from Kathy. Kathy says, "How much is the amount?" All right, thank you so much for that question, Kathy. And I'm assuming you're asking how much the next stimulus check is going to be for. Now, the next stimulus bill has not yet passed, so there is not an official number. If I were to guess, it would probably be similar to the last stimulus package in the CARES Act, where it would be a $1,200 stimulus payment. We've heard Larry Kudlow come out and say that he wants to be less than $1,200, but I don't think many members of Congress are going to be on board with that, especially being an election year, and Donald Trump certainly doesn't want them to be less than $1,200, especially after coming out and saying that he wants to be more generous than the Democrats and give more than $1,200. So with all that said, I think it's just going to be another flat number of $1,200 if I were to guess. All right, so the next comment of today's video is from Tammy. Tammy says, "Will SSI Disability get another check?" All right, thank you so much for that question, Tammy. And like I mentioned in the first question, the second stimulus bill has not yet passed, so I can't say for sure. However, Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin did come out and say that everyone who received the first stimulus payment should also be eligible for the second stimulus payment as well. So if I were to guess, I would say you should definitely receive the second stimulus payment as well, but I will definitely keep you up to date on that. All right, so on that note, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up this video. If you did enjoy the content in this video and you'd like to see more videos like it, please consider subscribing to my YouTube channel. It is completely free to do so, and it's a great support to me. Also, if you would like to receive one free stock from Robinhood valued all the way up to $500, feel free to claim that free stock by clicking the link in the description box below. And until next time, I'll see you guys, and I hope you have a great day today.